Hey guys, it's Julie Barrett with Conservative Ladies of Washington. I wanted to make a video for you today. It's the last day of the 2023 legislative session. It's April 23rd. And I just want to kind of share a few thoughts that I have about this session with you. This is totally unscripted, so we will see where this goes. We knew going in that this session was going to be a complete bloodbath, and we were not pleasantly surprised. It was indeed probably what I'm hearing from a lot of people who have been involved for a really long time in Washington lawmaking is that this was the worst session in memorable history. So that is not a good thing. I know personally with our work that we did with CLW and the bills that we were looking at, there were really hundreds of bills that went through and that were passed this session that are unconstitutional. And that is not a good thing for the citizens of Washington state. We knew going in that the Democrats were going to be able to do whatever they wanted, and we knew what their agenda was going in, especially with the Second Amendment bills, anti-Second Amendment bills that they did indeed pass. We knew about the education bills that they were going to put forth. There were just a plethora of bills, more abortion stuff. I mean, it was not good. Voting, elections, it was just really, really bad. But our goal was to show up for it during the process in committee hearings, get you, the citizens, to make your voices heard. We did that with the sign-in process, asking you guys to sign in before public hearings to let people know that you were opposed to these bills. You guys came out in record numbers. I mean, you took action every time we put it out there, and I thank you for that. We did not let them do this in the dark. They knew that we were watching. When we held our protest on Friday at the Capitol called Protect Our Children to protest these anti-parent, anti-family laws that they've passed this session, they arranged for a counter protest to be held across the courtyard by trans activists. And all of the Democrats in the state legislature came out and spoke at that event. And that was a huge sign to me that we are over the target, that they know that we're there, that they took the time on Friday afternoon to orchestrate all of that and to come out and make a presence. That's a big deal. That lets me know that we have been a thorn in their side, and that is exactly what we intended to do. We know that they bust people in for that counter protest. That was all organized. I'm certain that the Democrat lawmakers did it themselves. The people on the other side were antagonistic. They were violent. They were trying to start altercations with the people at our event. And we were ready for it. We work with Eric Rohde and Washington 3% to make sure that our people are going to be safe. And that our event is going to be able to go down without incident. And so we felt really good about that. The people that were at our event were all concerned citizens. Most of them were parents. There were some young people there, but these were all people who were standing up for liberty and for parental rights and for the protecting of our children from these egregious things that the Democrats want to do. And we were able to do that thanks to the defenders that were working with us, Eric and his team. And of course, there was Capitol Police and Washington State Patrol. It was all a permitted event, so we had all of the security and stuff. But, you know, how much of that do they actually protect us? And when do they stand down and allow the other side to do what they're going to do? And, you know, the other side came over to our side to aggravate people and to threaten people. And fortunately, we had our own people that were able to get those people away from us. And I think that's a big reason why a lot of people don't get involved in this stuff, is because of the other side. The trans radical activists are so violent And so people are scared. Citizens, parents are scared to get involved. It's not, it's not worth the risk, they think. But, we really have to be able to do these things. We have to have the courage to get out there and do these things. And I am committed to working with other organizations and groups to make sure that we can have these events and ensure the protection and the safety of the people that want to come and attend. And so we're going to have more information on how we're going to make that happen coming up in the very near future. So stay tuned for more information on that, because we do have a big what's next, and we need you to get involved. So speaking of what's next, we are hosting a Twitter space over on the Conservative Ladies of Washington Twitter accounts at CL of Washington. That will be Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We have Representative Jim Walsh and Representative Travis Couture who will be joining us for that conversation. Also, we'll have our co-organizers, Alex with Gays Against Groomers of Washington, and Joy from Moms for Liberty, Kitsap County. We will have Joe Kent's going to be in the space speaking, and Scott Stevenson, Jared Sessler, Eric Pratt, who's on our CLW team. And I'm trying to get a few other people. I'm trying to talk Todd Herman to joining us as well. I don't know if that will work in his schedule, but he would be a great voice to have in this conversation as we talk about the agenda overall of the trans agenda, and then how do we, as concerned citizens, how do we push back against that and stand up for the protection of our children? So that was, as you all probably know, that Senate Bill 5599 and House Bill 1469 were really, at least for me personally, those were the most egregious bills of the session. And that was kind of my personal fight as we went through this session, was to really use my voice to stand up for protecting children and protecting parents' rights. So that bill, both of those bills have passed both chambers, and they are waiting to be signed. And, as soon as those bills dropped in January, I knew that they would be passed, but I was committed to sounding the alarm and fighting those every step of the way. And I know a lot of people think, well, what's the point? Why do we sign in on these bills? Why do we email our representatives? They don't listen anyway. They know that we're here. I guarantee you that. And they don't like it. And so that just tells me that we're doing the right thing, and we need to continue to do it. We can't let them do this in the dark. We can't be quiet anymore. It's just not an option, especially if you're saying, I'm going to stay in Washington and I'm going to fight back. This is how we start turning things around. It's going to take a long time. And I said on Friday at our protest, it may not happen in our lifetime, but we are laying the groundwork for future generations. And so you just have to have that in mind, that this is a long game and we're not going to win it overnight. And you just have to be willing and persistent and consistent, and don't let up. Don't relent on these people, because if you give them an inch, they will take a mile, and they have done that. They have really annihilated our constitutional rights, so many of our freedoms. Circling back to the gun bills, we know that House Bill 1240, the so-called assault weapons ban, is going to be signed by Jay Inslee probably next week. I think he's now got like hundreds of bills that have to be signed. So I don't know what his particular order will be. That one was one of his pet projects with Bob Ferguson for this session. So I don't know, Monday might be a good media optics, but we really don't know. And how will that play into some of the other bills that he was really concerned about, like 5599. They are going to make, I think they're going to make that a big deal when they sign it. So we'll stay on top of that, and we'll bring you more information about that. But I want you to be encouraged that we're making noise, and they notice us, and they're annoyed by us, and they wish that we would go away. And so that just means that it's time for us to double down. And so we will be working really hard in this sort of off season as we go between now and December, because December is really when the bills will start dropping or coming back to life for the 2024 session. So we will spend the next 6 months working really hard to educate citizens and to build up our team and come back stronger for the next session, so that we can really put even more pressure on. It'll probably be another bloodbath. I mean, we might as well just like be prepared for that. And just fight as hard as we can. We need to be loud. We need to speak truth. We need to be grounded in reality, and we need to be unrelenting. And so I hope that you will get involved, and whatever that looks like for you. If that's just signing in on things and taking every call to action and committing to doing that, great. If you can step it up one notch further, become a member of Conservative Ladies of Washington. Our membership is open to ladies and gentlemen. So we would love to have you join us to, that's a great way to support the work that we're doing, because this takes a lot of time. And it takes a lot of financial resources as well to provide the platforms so that you guys can take action. And I'm primarily a volunteer, and I do probably 99% of the work that you see behind Conservative Ladies of Washington. And so I also have a job that pays me. And for us to do more work, for us to bring on employees and people that we can pay to do this work, we need people to support what we're doing. And so becoming a member is a great way. You can also make a donation. If you go to our website, conservativeladiesofwa.com, there's a big donate button there that you can use to make a donation. But we would love for you to join us as a member. You can do both, actually. If you want to do both, we love that. And then the other thing that you can do, notching it up even a step further, is become a member and get involved. Be on our team. We have a legislative action team. We meet every Monday night on Zoom. So it's people from all over the state, and we are strategizing and we are organizing. And this is really where the action comes from, is these Monday night meetings and the members who have committed to being involved in this movement. And they have done so much legwork. We've had a lot of members testifying on bills. Our members were on so many of these bills where nobody else testified. We were the only voice of opposition. And the only way we can spread ourselves around more is to build our team. So that's like the best thing that you could do, is actually get involved with us. And we'll use you if you have 5 minutes or 5 hours a week. We can put you to work. So there's a place for you. You don't have to have any kind of special experience or special background. There's all different kinds of roles. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, I just got involved in this whole legislation stuff 2 years ago. And I didn't know anything about it. So I've just been learning as I go, and I'm just teaching people what I'm learning so that we can all amplify each other's voices and be stronger as a united front. So would love for you to get involved. So head over to our website, conservativeladiesofwa.com. Be sure to join us over on Twitter on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for the Twitter space, where we will have a lot of speakers. And like I said, Gays Against Groomers and Moms for Liberty will be with us in that space. And it should be a time for you guys to learn a lot about this trans radical activist movement, this queer theory, this stuff that's just infiltrating every inch of our society, and what it's about and how we fight back. So plan to join us over there, and that's at CL of Washington, and it's Tuesday at 7 p.m. And in the meantime, please go check out our website. Join us, donate, conservativeladiesofwa.com.